Good evening, good evening. Hello. Welcome. Welcome along. Get your drinks. Got your snacks. Whatever you got. Let's do some trains. As usual, let's review what we got up to last week. So, what we have is a game board that we can draw sideways, down, sideways, up. Ooh. Bit of a bug there, we should fix that. And, of course, the big news from the last stream, corner tracks. Yeah. Quite good, well. Corner tracks. And I did a little sneaky stream the day after last week for the corner tracks and completely rewrote them because I worked out how to do that. Because on the stream itself, I was struggling something shocking and I had crazy code. And look at this neat little method here. Well, this little method. So I worked out I was using the wrong, well, not the wrong overload of Arc2, but this overload is much better for me because I know exactly where I want my line to start. I know exactly where I want my line to finish. It just so happens I want it to be a curve, which is not super exciting. So once I worked out that overload, that was straightforward enough. Some exciting things this week. What's exciting this week? Well, Visual Studio 16.4 was released today, which means this is the preview release, which means this is now Visual Studio 16.5 preview 1. Look at that. Also, did you know you can select this? Someone on my team did that. Thank you, Drew. This is an awesome feature for logging bugs. You should just copy them. Anyway, I have no idea what is new in 16.5 preview 1 because I don't think it contains any of my work, and therefore I don't know. But let's find out. Preview release notes. Let's see if there's anything cool in 16.5. Preview 1. On hover, a close button appears for each wherever. Oh. Whoops. Hey, that's pretty cool. Nice. Good work. Editor team. System hash code. Ooh, convert switch expressions. That's something I definitely like because I am terrible at using new C# features and I should be better. I should try and force myself, so that's good. Extension, excellent. Completion from unimported types is awesome. I don't use Azure. I don't use that either. Oh, and look at all these bugs. IntelliSense. Bad SSE code. Wasn't me. Using content. Yeah, this is all very exciting. Add new. I did that one. That's me. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't hard. I just did bug, but anyway. It's nice to get a little bit of code out there. There you go. Go use 16.5 preview 1. Use my code. The other exciting news is we have a pull request. So, actually, let me run this again, because I can talk about this pull request. Because, hello, the Gubble, the man himself, the man of the hour. So, corner tracks look like this, and they look alright, and the new code, the arcs, look cool. Can't really zoom in effectively, but, lean in to your monitor. The gap here, though, looks a bit silly, and I was thinking, what if we did 4 planks and whatever anyway, so of course that piqued the interest of Mr. Scott Holden, who is a friend of mine, who I sit in a Slack channel with all day, and so he added a 4th plank, but also the angles are different, so you'll see the difference between the first plank and the cell is smaller than the first plank to the second plank. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know how it's going to look when we have 2 angled curved tracks next to each other. We'll have to see. But let's have a look at the changes. So I definitely like that there is a new constant for num corner planks. I think that's cool because being able to tweak these things is I actually kind of want to have a mode where I can press a button here and it pops up this control panel where I can just tweak all of the numbers and all of these things like resize live the widths and the heights and whatever. It's one of the cool things about procedural graphics. Aside from the fact that I can't draw, so I can't use sprites, the ability to adjust on the fly is awesome. So yeah, that might go on the to-do list. And then turning off anti-aliasing. Yeah, the anti-aliasing on the horizontal tracks, it makes them look really thick. You can kind of see there. I don't know why on the horizontal tracks it makes it look thick, or on the curved tracks it makes it look thin. If Matthew was here, he might know, but anyway. And so then, yeah, so rotating first by that edge offset, so that initial set of degrees, then rotating for each step. This position is, I mean, obviously this looks good, so it's needed. It annoys me at a philosophical level because it's like just add a random number, no one really knows why, or it's working around something in Skier Sharp or Skier, or I don't know. But I mean, it does look good, so we'll take it. One thing I'd like to sort of add some more comments here, and I'm not sure. I'm going to try this. So GitHub has this suggested changes thing, so I can actually put in a suggestion to say, well, what do we want to do? So the corner step degrees is, and so it's 90 minus 2 times the corner offset degrees. Let's do this. So this is Okay. Is that any better? 7-second delay for Twitch. Yay! Yeah, this headset is wonderful. It's the first piece of hardware Microsoft bought me. Ah, that's right, it works. Cool. Yeah, okay, so this didn't get it. That's cool. So I can fix this up. Alright, let's grab that. And fetch. Oh man, merge commits. Merge commits. That's right. Reminds me of when we were first developing the JavaScript version and none of us knew how to use Git. So, what we should see now... Oh, what have I done? There... Oh, yeah, there it is. Couldn't see it. Okay, so here's the code. So we just want to comment this and say initial angle of 90 degrees. Middle planks. So remove the first and last from the swept angle. That sounds technical. Swept angle. Now just split up the remainder amongst the middle planks. Alright, let's see how that looks live, which ironically would look worse than the picture on GitHub because the picture on GitHub is bigger. So compiling is fun. Hey. Yeah, that looks good. I like the horizontal tracks without anti-aliasing for sure. Nice and skinny. And yeah, the four planks, we'll just have to see what that looks like when they're curved. Maybe we'll just do that now. Should we draw some remainders of the curves? Let's just commit this. Alright. So in our track layout renderer, no, not our track. In our track renderer, we have this wonderful piece of code, and I would like to improve this and possibly split these up into separate classes, because we have straight tracks and we have corner tracks. We can have separate classes for each, and then things go a bit neater rather than this method or this class just growing and growing. It would be really interesting if there was a way to have the DI system somehow do this. So in track layout renderer, we just say, hey, render this track. We could have a factory to say, hey, give me a renderer for this track, and then that could be the straight whatever. Databound graphics, exactly. I might do that another day though, because in case you've forgotten or weren't watching, my DI is this. It's very simple. It just says everything is registered as the interface it implements. Which, I mean, would totally work for a factory method. I can do that, no worries. It's using Microsoft Extension Sequence Injection, so it works with collections. It would be fine. I could get a collection of track renderers and loop through them and query them to see if they want to render this track. Or I could have a factory method. So the DI system's not that bad, but I wouldn't mind doing something fancier, like, for example, a filter... a filter for, track direction .horizontal or something, or like a track renderer attribute maybe. I don't know. I like attributes, probably because I use an F for real work. For now, we'll just do this. So this is direction equals horizontal, and annoyingly, we just have another. Oops, I did not copy the right thing. We just have another thing in here for vertical, which rotates, and then otherwise, hey, hello, Matt. We were just talking about you. A collection of renderers would be interesting for switch tracks. Yeah, that's kind of... Yeah, collection of renderers would be... So for a track that goes both straight and to the left or right, can you call both renderers? they don't currently clear out the cells so you could. The reason we were talking about you, Matt, was this lovely piece of code here. So the anti-aliased horizontal and vertical tracks, they looked too thick as compared to the curved tracks. So turning off anti-aliasing makes them look much better and they match up with the curved tracks. But the curved tracks have to move by half a pixel in order to actually look good, which is kind of annoying. And I don't know whether there's something I'm doing wrong with why having anti-alias with a stroke width of 1 and drawing perfectly straight lines would be essentially they ended up being 2 pixels grey rather than 1 pixel of black. But I don't know whether that's Skier Sharp or Skier, so you might not know. Let's just fill out the rest of these. Right down. What's that one? Right up. So, same trick as with verticals. We simply rotate. Are you drawing with non-integer position with the translator light? No, I shouldn't be. But an arc radius at 0 and Python equals glaze. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably true. No, width divided by 2 is 20, but I mean, I could be losing some precision somewhere, but I think everything's round numbers. I think it is just an arc radius at 0 and pi divided by 2 doesn't equal radius. See, you say things like that, Scott, and I don't know what they mean because it's math. So, left up is our standard. So if we're going left up, rotating 90 is right up. And so we rotate 90. And if we're going right down, that's 180. And left down is 270. Adding 90 to things is the extent of my maths. Alright, cool. So now in theory we have rotation and we have all 4 corners. I guarantee you I've gotten these numbers wrong and they'll be all over the place, but we won't know that until we actually have a way to draw them. So, set best track directions. This is the method that I started to write tests for. Let's see if live unit testing is going to play nicely. I have a test, or I have a theory with some tests. I don't like these tests because this is completely nonsensical and I can't, every time you look at it, you forget what they do. Hey, live unit testing is working. Excellent. So you can see, I need more test coverage, right? These ones are not tested. Oh, they are tested. This one isn't. Okay. Let's maybe do some test-driven development, though. Because, start a new track. Let's go with horizontal. Did that just crash? Man. Supplied snapshot point is the incorrect snapshot. Gah. Well, it is a preview release. So, if I have a track at 1, 1, and I add a track at 1, 2, no, 2, what is it, column, comma, row, yep. 2, 1, then equal get track at 2, 1, direction. I always get expected to equal backwards. Direction dot horizontal. So basically they should both be horizontal. Fairly boring. It's a fact, not a fast. And you're probably complaining about lazy. I wonder, has XUnit been annotated? No, and why would I expect a method call to work anyway? squiggles. See, I don't like those green squiggles. I'm going to get rid of them. The thing about tests is, if this is null for any reason, then obviously this test should fail. And so this throwing a null reference exception, this test will fail. And I will see a red mark and I will investigate it. So I'm actually totally fine with that. I didn't mean to press debug then. You know what the worst thing about live streaming is? You can't see it, but on my taskbar, Microsoft Teams has a little one icon. And the icon is orange. And I really want to click on it to see what it is. But I can't, because then you'll see it. But I really want to know. Alright, did the test pass? Yay, test passed. Alright, I'm just going to write some tests like this, because this is much easier. 1, 2. Now they both should be vertical. And, oh, I really wish live unit testing would work. Try again. And then the good old left up corner. Ooh, and we have a failing test. Excellent. So if we add one at 1, 2, and then we add one at 2, 1, we should see 1, 2 be vertical. We should see 2, 1 be horizontal. I forgot to change this. And we should see 2, 2 be left up. Nope. Okay. So that's cool. Oh, no reference. 1, 2. Very good. Is it going to pass? No. Alright, so it's actually horizontal, but we expect vertical. So that makes sense. So now we go to our game, our code here, and we can start to debug it. I kind of want to get rid of all of this code though, because it's ugly, and I have to think about it too much, and I don't like doing that. So let's do exactly that. Now this is real. Let's do that thing. This is real test-driven development. You can read your messages we won't tell. Yeah, you will. And then, like, didn't I sign some NDA or something? I don't know. So far, the two of you in chat both work for Microsoft, so maybe I can just show you. Anyway. Alright. To determine a direction of a track, my notification number's gone to 3 now. What's the bet? The two of those are Scott trolling me. To determine the direction of a track, the best direction, it's all based on what tracks are around you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of the tracks around neighbors. Yeah. I still have that thing of where the track should know where they are or not. So I want track left, track up, track right, and track down. And this is really simple. We just have get track at column -1 row. Whoops. That's so weird. So when I press semicolon here, Roslyn is smart enough to put the semicolon at the end here because it knows that it's invalid there. But all that does is it moves my cursor, and then I go backspace to put a comma in, and the comma's at the wrong thing. Anyway. Never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So left, so up, right, and oops, and down, and can't type today. And these are actually nullable because, of course, you could have no neighbors. Okay. So now we have some neighbors. We can simply go. So if we have neighbors to the top, or we have neighbors to the bottom, then we want to be vertical. That's not actually true though. Can I even compile this? Probably. It's just not going to go well. Oh yeah. Hey, well, right down works. I got my rotation right. That should have worked. Ah, dear. This actually is an opportunity to use a switch expression too, but I'm not. Okay. So, if we have neighbors up, or we have neighbors down, then we want to be vertical. That's not true, because if we have neighbors to the left, then we actually want to be left down or left up. And same thing here. Same thing here. If we have neighbors to the top when we're horizontal, then we want to be right up, otherwise left up. And yeah, and then here we're going to do the same thing with right. Oh, this is getting messy again, but at least I can read it this time. So this is. I wonder if an enum is a bad choice for this. If I could. Oh, what about a flags enum? Because then I could just combine the right flag with the down or up flag. Ooh, that would be interesting. That's definitely something to play with once this is all finished, because if I can do it the verbose way like this, then, and the tests are right, then changing to a smarter way is going to be a lot easier. So that kind of covers everything, and then this is the default case, right? But I reckon all of my tests will fail, because I've got an obvious bug here. I don't know what it is. It's not obvious to me yet, but I suspect once I start debugging it will be, because all those tracks that were curved before, at least some of them should have been vertical. I kind of feel bad for just filling out tests on a stream though. It's kind of boring to watch, isn't it? Expected vertical and actual was horizontal. Oh, okay. I have regressed some code I had. So I also had code here to change the neighbors. So here, let's say, where we say, hey, there's someone above us, no one to the left or the right. We want to be vertical. But we also want our neighbor to be vertical. Our neighbor above us. And that was there before. So horizontal, that's cool. Vertical. Okay, so this is all working. Okay. Whoa! Yes! Look at that. I drew a curve. Can I do it again? No. Yes, I need to know exactly. So yeah, that I have regressed that. So that'll be a curve. That'll be a curve. That'll be a curve. So alright, well my curve drawing's working. So the only thing, that needs to happen is the neighbors need to change. And that's, yep. So, and what I did before was I had all these further if statements here that then change the neighbors and whatever, but I actually don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to, if we do anything but the default, no, even if we do the default, basically what I want to do, I can't for each. Yeah, what I want to do is for each of my neighbors, I want to just say, hey, go and set your direction. And this is where, boy, would it be good if Trax knew their column and row, because now I've got to calculate the column and row here when I've already done it here. Yeah. Careful updating everything, otherwise you'll look in the loop. Yes, that's true. Yeah, no, it should only happen if it's changed. But I think on the first, sort of the initial cell that is drawn, I think everything should be a change. Yeah, that makes sense. Which just means we need to know when this is the first time. Or we have a track direction of undefined. That's probably the easier way. So the default track direction is undefined. And we just go, oops, if, yeah, okay, so we're gonna, actually, no, we don't need to do this. That's alright, because we want this to be exhaustive anyway. So the compiler will tell us if we've forgotten a branch anywhere, which apparently we have. Implicitly, oh yeah, of course. Predict everything, compiler, jeez. F# could totally do it. So, if the new direction doesn't equal, wait, what am I doing? Hang on. If the new direction doesn't equal, what? What was I thinking here? Ah. There we go. So, now we can go, if new direction doesn't equal track direction, track dot direction. So if there's been a change, then, well, we have to actually apply the change. And then we want to call our neighbors. And yeah, calling neighbors, what are you complaining about now? Unnecessary assignment. Is it? Is it unnecessary? Oh yeah, it is. Because it's exhaustive. That's good. That's what we want. Excellent. Train of thought. Yes. I don't want to call them neighbors if I change someone else's. Yeah. Yes, train of thought is how I work. This is why it's called a stream, because it's short for stream of consciousness, right? I'm sure someone's made that joke before. Yeah, see now this is annoying, because now I've got to go if neighbors dot up doesn't equal nothing. Well, actually that's not true. I can put a null check here and just ignore it if it is. But I've got to do this again, which is annoying. Aha. Int goal, int row, get directions. Neighbors.all. Yeah, I mean neighbors, if neighbors was a class of some description, it could be neighbors.all, but it's currently just a value tuple. But what I can do here is I want to yield return. Yeah, that needs that. Needs that. Oh, I can't. I was going to use that in there. Then I can just do for each int goal int row in get neighbors. Okay. That better? What's all that? Okay, directions. That's a terrible name. Get neighbor positions. That's a better name. And tracking. I would be very surprised if the track class doesn't end up with more stuff, because I don't like this code. I don't like having to pass column and row around. I like that track doesn't know it. I like that it's easy to be immutable and it's a little bit stateless, but I hate having to pass all this stuff around. Extension methods on very top is, yeah, that's the one thing that's annoying is I really want to be able to do some extension methods for this stuff, but because they need to know, like I want to go track dot get me what's left of you, but it doesn't know its position, so I can't. I wonder if any of these are going to pass now. Unexpected error detected. No, build. Tests are not my friend today. I'm just going to run the code. We'll do testing the hard way. No, the easy way. So that doesn't work. Oh no. I think we found an infinite loop. Yep. Oh, nope. That just went away. Okay, it's probably just a null ref then. Alright, let's debug it. Why not? I did write a bunch of code without any testing, and there's lots of lefts and ups and rights and downs. So if we draw a single track, it should be horizontal. So neighbors is null. Skip to get horizontal. We have made a change, so we set the change. Cool. And we get our positions. What? Why do we have a neighbor? That's a problem. I want to go back. I went too far. Here. That should be a row. See? Simple mistakes. We found ourselves, not our neighbor. Okay, so horizontal, vertical. Oh! Oh my god! I honestly forgot that would work. That was genuinely a lovely surprise. Yes! Woohoo! Not bad. Other than the usual gaps, which, some smoothing algorithms. Oh no! Digubble, what did you do? Oh, Nightbot. How do we tell Nightbot that they're not spamming? I just don't have any. I wish I knew how to use chat. Stop spamming caps. Alright, there you go. Oh, look at that. Except for that. Yeah, so we need crossroads, more directions. Oh, that looks so funny. Oh, look at that. How good is that? They all just snap into a corner. That's so cool. I'm so happy. And also, those corner tracks, when they're next to each other, they look ace. They look. I'm gonna guess, because I know you, Scott, that you are not surprised by this, but I am, because I don't understand maths, and your maths has worked out perfectly. Oh, it's probably like a little bit narrow. Neither. How do I go? Alright, that's cool. Yeah, the clumping of the planks there just looks kind of weird. I don't know why. This is where I want my control panel where I can tweak some numbers, because on the JavaScript version, it doesn't look like that. Hello, hippos. So on the JavaScript version, oh no, they do clump up. And yeah, the 3 tracks there doesn't look. Everything's just a bit chunkier in. Everything's a bit chunkier. Wow, I need to fly a drone about some real tracks. Oh, that reminds me. You don't need to fly a drone. So the other thing I did, and Scott, is I started to log some issues for some big ideas, because as much as this to-do list on the right-hand side, up there, is good, I haven't done what I said I would do, number 1. I've done the other thing, I haven't done this, so that's cool. I kind of, something like this, where I can just tweak the numbers and have the drawing, that'd be cool. So I started to log some other ideas for longer term, like once everything's finished. But curved tracks, if they were bigger. So if a curve could take up a 2x2 cell, so for example, I need a clear button. Whoa, wrong button. Don't look at that. It might have been closed source. I can't remember. If we had a track there, so vertical there and horizontal there. So if that could be a curve, it could be a much gentler curve. And then I think we wouldn't have these problems. But that is a much different problem, because essentially now we need to have a track that is a cell that knows about, its inputs and outputs. I mean, it's a cool idea, I think. All right, look at that. We have tracks. All right, so there's a couple more things we need to do, though. Actually, there's a really good example. If I draw a track here, it sort of steals this, right? And we don't want that to happen. If a track is in a set, then we want to leave it alone. I should be able to draw here, and it should have basically 2 vertical tracks. Commit and push, you want to play. All right, fine. What has shitty tests? So we need to do track happiness, because if a track is happy, so when we go here and we try to change our neighbors, essentially, if our neighbors are happy, we don't want to do anything. We want to leave them alone. And always let people be happy, even if you don't agree with their choices. If this track is vertical, you think it should be horizontal, let it be vertical. So, is it just a matter of having a happy flag and saying, hey, if you're happy, you're happy? It might be. Or is it a matter of not calling this method? No, we always need to call this method once, because, actually, you know what? Yeah, we always need to call that method once, but we don't want to call. What I want to do, this code really should go here, and then no, that doesn't matter. I'll just return a flag whether it's changed. Yeah, okay. So, if the track is happy, then we don't want to do anything, basically. And oh God, I probably need a better name than happy. Let's be honest. But I don't know what it is right now. And happy is what it was in the JavaScript version, and I like that concept. And I like funny names for things. So if we're happy, that's great. So when do we set happy? Well, we are happy if we have at least 2 connections, right? Well, or are we happy if we have 1? No, we're happy if we have 2. So let's do this. So our neighbors our neighbor count so if our neighbor count, if we're connected to if you're not happy, you don't know it, hands don't clap. Yeah, that's pretty much how all of the code in the JavaScript version was written, was for maximum humor. I remember the code that there was code there that if trains collided that exploded, and it was literally if check yourself, wreck yourself, you know. So if we have 2 neighbors, then we're happy. And if we're happy, no one's going to be able to change us. And let's just see what that does. It doesn't feel like it's right. I feel like some of these checks should have to do with happiness, because if we have so for this one can change, but this one shouldn't. Okay, why didn't that work? If name becomes greater than 2, track.happy is true. If it's happy, we return. So when we call set track direction on the, so we draw 3 tracks. Okay, we need to test. Stop trying to do this the hard way. Game tracks. Make a palette class with single instances of your chosen paints. They are disposable. Yeah, I'm disposing them. But yes, we probably can share instances. At the moment, speed is not an issue. But, yeah. So, if we add a track at 1.1, and then we add a track at 1.2, and then we add a track at 1.3. So, oops, not happy. So happiness should be false for the track we just drew. It should still be false for the first track we just drew and the second track. But now, oops, second track. After drawing the third track, this one should be happy, because it is now connected to 2 people. Oh, did the test crash again? No, it didn't. Okay. Alright, so our assert failed. Yeah. Okay, so happiness is not working. Let's debug. Okay. So we're currently unhappy, I hope. Yep. We should have one neighbor to the top, yep. And therefore we're going to be vertical. And we've changed, so we set this up to vertical. Now we neighbor count. Well, this one's going to be 1. So we get our neighbor positions. Nothing. This is up. So we call into here. We're not happy. Fine. We get our neighbors. There should be 2 neighbors. Oh, this is also calling too much, isn't it? Because this is now going to call on its down neighbor. Maybe it should fix that. Anyway, this should be vertical. Oh, it didn't change. Okay. So we need to always check for happiness, even if we're not changing. Which is kind of annoying. We need to, because we need to, in order to find out if we're happy, we need to call set best net direction on our neighbors. Maybe that's not a problem. Yeah, we could actually, no, that's, although this is going to infinite loop then, isn't it? Because, okay, so this code needs to come out. Yeah, so this code needs to come out to here, and that'll create the infinite loop. And then if we've changed, yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's changed or not. Is that right? Yeah, it only needs to go 1 level back. Okay, let's try that. No, still false. Okay. Let's debug. Oh, I know what's going on. So, by moving this, we ensured this was only ever called for, it's not an infinite loop, but of course by taking it out of that method, neighbor's happiness is never validated. Okay, so if we changed our direction, then we need to invalidate our neighbors. That makes sense. But whether we changed or not, we need to check if we're happy. Okay, yeah, that works. That should still work, I think. So what we're doing here is, if we've changed our direction, we call our neighbors. But if we haven't, we at least check if we're happy. So, so if we've changed, we call them. That looks right. maybe. Happiness is happy. Woo! Cool. Alright, so now we should be able to do that test again. And draw 3 tracks. And... I mean, it's close. Okay. So what's going on there? This track horizontal makes sense. We draw a track here. Okay. So they are drawing that they are seeing the neighbors and therefore assuming they can connect, but because we're not rotating the neighbors because they're happy, we can't. Yeah, okay. So we need a new concept here for not only is there a neighbor to the left, but it needs to be the, let's say, can connect right neighbors dot left. And then if we can connect to the left, that's when we change to up and down. Otherwise, and this is obviously can connect right, otherwise we still say vertical. Yeah, okay. And then can connect is based on whether it currently connects or it's not happy. I think. I think that's right. I think that makes sense. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. Unless... Actually, we can just do this here. Get neighbors. This could be get connectable neighbors. Because get neighbor positions will still find all of my neighbors. Actually, no, this is wrong as well, because it doesn't matter whether I'm surrounded by tracks. It's if I'm connected to those tracks, then I'm happy. So, yeah, let's try this. So, we want to return the track to the left if the track to the left is connected. Okay, I'm going to undo that. This is getting hairy. You know what I'm going to do? I'm biting the bullet. Column and row. It's too hard. Too many calculations. Having column and row on the track will mean I can move all of these sort of calculations, or sorry, these ones, to the track class, which will just make things a lot nicer, hopefully to read. Yeah, okay. So, we want a new track. Track is here. And let's leave that just in. Yeah, we still having quick access to pull tracks out by their position is still makes sense. So we just don't need to pass around all this stuff anymore, which is good. So this can now be track dots get neighbors. Which is this? Also, track doesn't have an interface. Well, I kind of thinking more about my interfaces as well, and they're a bit unnecessary. Oh, I guess the track needs a game board. Yeah, that's right. It's not the worst thing in the world. How do I... Yes, do I... Yeah, I'm not actually using my interfaces for anything other than the DI system works that way, but I certainly am not mocking. I'm not creating test versions of, although maybe one day. Column. No. Nah. Okay. What's next? So retract on that neighbors. And then now get neighbor positions. You know what? Let's remove this, because if this is going to need logic to know about connected states anyway, we can just go if neighbors up is not null. Oh, that ain't like something that's changed. I guess set best tracks direction should also go on the truck. Which then actually means that, yeah, this can get a bit nicer too. Let's move this. Oh, look how neat that is, see? Oh, it's so good. Alright, track is mutable. Bad luck, everybody. It just is. So, oops, still too many curses. Okay. Now we can just use methods. Now we can just do things. I wonder if there's an easy way to... Maybe neighbor should be glass. I want to like return neighbors.up. I want to return a 1 is null and 0 else 1 plus. This is... I am not proud of myself. I'm guessing I need brackets around this whole thing. Not my finest moment. But it works. It's crazy and it works. And you have test coverage. You can always refactor it later. Lovely. Okay, so this is, yeah, so this just got easier here. We'll just go greater than 2. Ooh, do we want to set happy to false ever? Ah, we're not going to be false if we got there. Cool. So now we don't need, oops, we don't need count. Which means we don't need this here. We can put this here, which means we can put this back in here. We don't need this. Everything gets easier. You didn't think you came for singing, but you totally did. And neighbors.up, then, oh no, even better, neighbors.up dot question mark dot. Yes. Can you do that with Novel? Oh, how good is that? See, there you go. There was a method to the madness. and left. Caps lock. Okay. Does it compile? Maybe. Does it run? Does the test pass? I actually don't think... Wait, I didn't change any code there. What was I doing? Okay, run some tests. Hey. Interestingly, this test failed. It should have worked. Expected vertical, actual horizontal. No, that makes sense. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. I thought I had this working. That would be that. Boom. Yeah, what did I do? Column 1, row 2. Oh, column 1, row 2. Yeah, column 2, row 1. Column 2, row 2. Oh, I've got this one. That should be 2-1. Okay, cool. So, alright, so we have tracks. They're horizontal. Yeah, they keep making curves. Okay, that's what I was doing. Pick 1. This is 1, 2. Just for fun. Ooh. I'll put that there. You know what I should do is make the add track method return the track, and then I can get rid of this nonsense. That might be fun. Alright, what other test fail? Set best track direction. Why did that fail? That's interesting that we've somehow lost a case here, and I've made this better. I'm going to delete this whole thing eventually anyway. Let's just make sure that... Oh, did I do unselected? I don't know what that is. Compiles but doesn't blend. Well, I do have blend. Blend exists. I forget the blend exists, but it does. 1, 2, left, up. What did I do? No. Okay, 1, 2 is vertical. 2, 1 is horizontal. Left, up. How did I make this? God, I screwed that up terribly. Failing test. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm deleting the bad test. The fact that it fails is irrelevant. It's just bad. No. Column, row. Oh, I've done it again. Okay. Change values until tests pass. This would be so cool if live unit testing was working. Okay, cool. Right. Back to tracks. Don't think them. So, what we need to do is, if there's a track to our left, and there's a track to the, if there's a track to the left that can be connected to us. Yes, and this needs to be a track to above that can be connected to us. So get neighbors needs to only get things that are connectable to us. And then here we're using neighbors. We only need to check the things. Yes, okay, cool. So, not here. Here, which I'll move down the bottom. Okay. So we want to get this track only if the track can be connected to the... So this is the one to the left, so therefore it's only if it can be connected to the right. Get track at. Okay, so left equals... Okay, we'll check that one. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, left, up, right, and down. So we want to return if left doesn't equal null, then we want to return if left dot can connect right, then left, otherwise null. Yeah, makes sense. The old value tuple is really starting to show its smells at this point, and class would definitely be a better choice. So up is returned if it can connect down, right is if it can connect left, and down is if it can connect up. And I don't want these to be nuls because they're booleans. Alright, let's generate some properties. Cool. And these need to be null, which now means true. Nullable. See, more smells. Alright. So we can connect right if there is get track at start column -1. Oh, hang on. What am I saying? No, can connect right is if track dot this dot direction equals right down or switch expression direction switch no switch you still need those, and then you go track direction dot right down true direction, I think that's right, true, and horizontal true, and otherwise false. Yay! I wrote my first switch expression. Not logging, not equals, not false. Yeah, I could do that too. So a switch expression, in case you haven't seen one before, it's like a switch statement, but instead of writing cases, you just say, if it's this, then this. If it's this, then this. And the underscore means everything else. And you have to have the underscore. If I comment it out, I should get a compile error. Yeah, because this is not exhaustive. So because this has to return this value, essentially can't have it fall through the bottom. So switch expressions, they're kind of cool for this sort of thing, right? I mean, that sort of saves me a bunch of if this dot direction equals every time. So that's kind of cool. And now we get to copy and paste it. And it is stuffing up my indentation every time because I forgot to copy and paste that bit. The switch can have commas on the left, I think. Oh, combos? Combos? Oh, really? Can it? Oh. I mean, there's this component that's already used. Yeah, okay. It's not a comma. That's interesting. Oh, is it? Could you do that? No, that doesn't make sense. Let's have a look. Switch expression. Hoping. I mean, you might be hoping, but it might not be. It might be. Oh, let's switch. I want switch expression. Nope. could be that a flags enum actually works better here as well, because it also kind of worked with, it worked nicely with that rendering code. No, it doesn't look like it. You can do wins, you can do other stuff, but yeah, anyway, it doesn't look like it. Just wishful thinking. Alright, so we can connect down right down, left down, and vertical. Left is left down, left up horizontal. That is right up, so that is left up. Okay. Now, did any of these, I don't have any tests for this, do I? Let's add a test. 2 verticals. 3, and then we add 2. And they should all be vertical. No, I broke something. Grr. The happiness test. It was so happy. What's wrong with 2 verticals? Remove the underscores. Oh, it's a bit opinionated. Who's telling me that? FX crop. Ha. Be gone. I love that you can configure that from the editor. Except that it didn't seem to work. Oh, maybe it did in Visual Studio. Is not happy. Yeah, I made a change to editor config. See how one's identify should It's very opinionated. No quick actions available. Well, stop complaining then. Alright. I broke every test. I'm guessing that's because I'm not returning neighbors now, and so stuff's gone wrong. Let us visualize the wrongness. Horizontal. These should both change to vertical. They don't. Oh, okay. So, there's a track. When I draw this track, it's going to say, hey fella above me, can you be connected down? And the answer is no, because it's horizontal. But the answer should be yes, because I'm happy. Not happy. I wonder if I can do this. Why not? Cannot implicitly convert bool. Yeah, but it's not. Can I do when? This. Oh, look at that. So for any case where we're not happy, the answer is always true. And that's cool. Whoops. I hope that works. I'm a bit nervous that it won't because of the underscore. Looks weird. It's the first parameter, but let's run our tests again. Come on, green. When hap, that's right. You read my mind. Okay, so vertical, we got one of the verticals wrong. I think I know why, and I think that's right. Yeah, that makes sense. So if I do this, that's better. But yeah, this one at the top, that one wasn't happy. Yay! We have the things. And yep, can't do that. Now I need to erase. Oh, now there's something for the eraser to do. The eraser. Oh, I can do an eraser. That is so cool. Oh. Now we get to the point where I sit here all day drawing train tracks instead of working. I mean, this is totally work, right? I'm engaging with the community. Hello, use Microsoft products and services. Thank you. Do I get paid now? Ah, that's so cool. Yes. Alright, and this this track, yeah, so we just need to elongate this one and remove that fella. And then now everything should be coming up vertical. And Millhouse. Cool. I don't know which. I'm very curious which one of these I broke. Let's find out. Because that means I've somehow regressed this drawing code, even though if I look at it now, all I can see is that it's awesome. So there's that. The expected horizontal, its actual was vertical. And which case is it? It is drawing 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. The last track should have been horizontal. Yeah, that's just not true anymore. Because that's a track here. A track. Wait. 1, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, that's not true. Track there, track there, track there. That converts it to a corner, so this becomes vertical, which is vertical. Excellent. There we go. See, I have proven that the track of the test is not just wrong. I mean, it's not just failing. It's also invalid. So we can get rid of that. We have covered it. I like these tests better, besides the fact that they're a bit verbose. It's really easy to understand. Could be improved. I wouldn't mind checking, like, this track is horizontal, then you add this one, they both go vertical. This one is never horizontal, you know, there's sort of more detail there we could check, but I guess as long as we have in-state, and actually these two cover that, so. Cool. Oh, that's really good. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, an eraser. Let's do this. Don't steal tracks. There. Let's do an eraser. Because an eraser should be really easy, right? All we do is pass down. Else if this dot current tool equals eraser. Track. So to remove a track, all we should have to do, that's not what I wanted, but while I'm here, I'll just do this. To remove a track, all we should have to do is we set the track. So we remove the track, but we want to get it first. Okay. So if we get a track out of here, when is this game going to Mac and Linux? Skier with there, just go. Yeah, I mean exactly. That's why I chose Skier. Is because I mean I started with Windows Forms because it was really easy to get going as far as the surrounding panel goes, but everything is just Skier. So I mean, in case anyone missed the first thing, the Windows code is this. Like, it's a split container and a panel and then some buttons and then a Skier view and there's a few events and then that's it. So doing this in, you know, Xamarin or Blazor or whatever should be straightforward, and everything else is just Skier. So everywhere Skier works, this should work. So yeah, I might move on from WinForms sooner rather than later because there isn't much left to do. Maybe a PR from the music audit. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know WPF. But yeah, I mean Xamarin. I don't know. I was even wondering. I don't think Comet is quite ready, but that'll be fun. It's like I kind of tried to be inspired by the expression of Comet, but it just doesn't work in WinForms. But yeah, I mean, Blazor, that's an interesting one, because then it's a C# but writing on a canvas, and that's a direct comparison to the TypeScript one, which is writing on a canvas. Blazor with Uno, that's funny. So I know Jeff Huntley, who is in Sydney, who works for Uno. I know him, and I know all the Uno guys in general, and I keep seeing all of their cool stuff with Blazor, and I click it, and none of it ever works for me. But I haven't actually tried why. Yes, this is Visual Studio 2019. So this is actually the preview that came out today, which is 16.5 Preview 1. So it is the latest and greatest public release of Visual Studio. But yeah, I don't think I'm using too many Visual Studio features. I could probably do this in VS Code. I'm not using the designer specifically and all sorts of things. So we have our track. So all we're going to do is we can remove that track, and then we tell it to set its best direction, which, is kind of wasteful, because it's now going to go and work out what direction to be, even though we don't care and it already has a direction. All we actually want it to do is this. And actually, what if they didn't change it? Okay, let's do this properly. Refresh neighbors, and I'm gonna do this. Let's separate it out, because now we can do it properly. Is that how you spell neighbors? I've looked at that too long, and all I can think of, that's the sound a horse makes. Yeah, remove track, and then so we just go refresh neighbors. So even though this track has been removed, the neighbors call will still work, because the neighbors call calls back into here. So this should now be able to fix up any mistakes. Let's have a look. So if I go down and to the right, and then down from there, and erase that one. Why didn't it do that? Should have called neighbors left. Check yourself. Because it was happy. Okay, so refreshing neighbors, and then it would have said, hey, this.happy is not true. Yes, it's too happy for its own good. Do we just let it go to the bottom and check its neighbor count? I feel like that could be dangerous, because I feel like this stops a lot of recursion. Now let's find out. What's the worst of that one? Well, everything could break. So there, and then eraser, and boom. Crowd goes wild. Yay. That's nice. I like it that's optional parameter. Turn that frown upside down, or actually the opposite of that. Please reconsider your life. Is the optional parameter. That's probably. Yep. That's not bad. Wait, what did that do? Hang on. Did that? Am I dreaming, or did that change things? Not change. I've not changed yet. So that. Oh. That's weird. I guess that makes sense, but boy, is that weird. Let's just do that again. So when I erase this, the world reevaluated its life. What? So this changed to vertical. This then should have become happy. But it didn't. God. Maybe. No, yeah. See, no, we do want them to evaluate their best track direction. I wonder why that didn't work. Okay. Maybe it's just the order that this happens. Oh, vertical first. Happiness lives for X, but decreases each neighbor. You're gonna have to explain that one to me. So, when I erase this one, it's going to say, hey, you go find your direction. That should find vertical. It should then decide that it's happy. It changed so it tells its neighbors to change. Which means it tells this one. So this one should decide it's happy. So, You know what? Let's find out. Prunes. Nothing like a debugger. And if you haven't, you can attach it to process, attach to a running process. So good. Because drawing all of those tracks would have been painful if I had breakpoints. Order of this, so left down is above vertical. Yeah, that's... But why would it choose... No, but left down. But it's not. It's choosing... Oh no, this one shows vertical. Oh, then this one shows right down. And right down is above vertical. Is that what it is? But no, this one should have been happy by the time it got to reevaluate its position. Oh, but then I commented at that line of code. Okay, so we do. So it is only when erasing we need to. Yeah. Okay. I think it's because I commented at this line of code, so the fact that it was happy. Yeah. So okay. So we do need to do this refresh only when. So we can. I wonder if I can do that. Oh, it compiles. No, it doesn't. Oh, I didn't think so. Yeah, you can't assign to a thing because what does it do with the list false? Oh, I don't like optional parameters. There's 5 calls to this. I don't want to add. Oh, it's alright. Alright, fine. True and false. What? What are you decompiling? Sure. What are you possibly doing with your Oh, boy, right. Oh, I pressed F12 for the wrong thing. Okay. And I don't need that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't want optional parameter. I want overload. Bool ignore if happy. Oops. And ignoring if happy, and then refresh neighbors. I need that as well. That's wrong. And then that gets false. Yeah, Matt, that thing about optional parameters is exactly why I hate them. I don't like that's how they work. And not on that last goal. Not on that last goal. Yes. Yeah, you're right. That's just true. Because neighbors of neighbors, we always want to maintain their happiness. This is getting like so proper. Yeah, the optional parameters thing. Yeah, the reason I don't like them is because I feel like that's like I know why they implemented it that way, but I feel like that's the worst of the two possible choices. Well, that didn't do what I thought, but it's not as bad as what it did. Okay, so now it's because write up is. Nah, it still should have been happy. What? Why? I'm doing it again. I'm debugging it. Reattached process is another feature of Visual Studio if you haven't used. Where it reattaches to this process. Yeah, maybe the order thing, but I still think so. The order thing makes sense for this track, but this one should then be work out it's happy. And so when it comes time to this track to change its direction, it should say, no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, wait, no, but it changes direction first because I'm silly. Yeah, no, right. Okay. That makes sense. This is not happy because it's not connected above. So this thing says, hey, I should be vertical. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I kind of... Straights could take priority, or when we say, hey, refresh our neighbors, maybe for neighbors, they should refresh their happiness first. Because if you're happy without making a change, even if you'll be happy and you make a change, this has got very philosophical. Okay, how do we... Maybe we check our happiness. In fact, well, can we just check our happiness first anyway? Because get neighbor count is now only going to consider the connected neighbors. And then as long as we say if this direction isn't undefined, so we always at least give them a direction. Let's try that. I'm sure I said something at one point about running tests, but clearly that's gone by the wayside. Oh, yeah, yeah, well, I think we have our answer. That's... Yeah, okay. Because this said, hey, look, I've got two tracks near me that can connect. But I haven't changed my direction. But I'm happy. Okay, so... put this back. But when we refresh our neighbors here, okay, do you know what it is? This can connect down. Makes sense for setting the direction. But when we get our neighbor count, what we actually want to know is, are they connected down? Not can it, but is it? And are we? No, we want to know if we are connected. Ah, dear. This is... Yeah, okay. We want to know if we're connected down. So we can do this at the top if we have two or more neighbors who are connected to us and we are connected to them, then we don't need to change directions. That makes perfect sense, I think. So this needs to go up here and get neighbor count is get connected neighbor. Yeah, actually, yeah. Okay, get neighbor count. So this, oh my goodness. this one needs a thing for consider current connections. And then this passes in true, but this passes in false. And this passes in false because we're deleting a track, so yeah. Okay, and so then left can connect right, and we can connect left. And we can connect up, and we can connect right. So we're doing cognitive services. Yeah, this is getting, it's like a soft skills talk. Can connect down. And that is saying I need the this qualifier, which is correct. I do. I love this on properties. Okay. Random code changing test. Track and no. Well, this code is bad. I know. Yeah. I'll train a model and I'll pass it 2 tracks and it'll return me a score of happiness between 1 and 0. Can Cornder instant in? Are you having a stroke? Oh, I didn't do that. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to consider the bool that was called consider. So, it doesn't fit. Can I go one more? No. Okay. So if we're not considering connections or, and then we got the question mark. Okay, so just close bracket. Thank you. Smells like toast. You could be having dinner. Wow. I mean, that's a lot of problems. Oh, it compiles. Wait, what? There's so many squiggles. Oh, they're gone. Okay. Control right jumps whole words. Yes, that would have worked. Thank you. Click. Still not. Again, if only there were a way to test this code without just trial and error. So, okay. Left can connect right. Oh, and then the problem is that this is going to return true because of this. So now we need a version of can connect left that ignores happiness. Okay, I'm abandoning ship on that idea because that's too complicated. Okay, so let's move happiness back to the end. This at least works. It might look strange when you erase, but it at least draws tracks. And yeah, so when you start to erase stuff, like if I erase, well, that's fine. Yeah, no, okay. I'm okay with all of that. Like, erase. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not completely unpredictable. See, you started playing with it too soon, Scott. This is the fun part. Well, no, we don't have crossroads. Any plans to have a change track type? I don't know. I kind of would like the idea that we don't need one because it's like so smart at redrawing tracks that it predicts what you want, but it's possible it's not. Hello, she'll be back. OBS crashed. You didn't hear it. because it was crashed. But I heard a ding, and then I said, that was a ding. Yeah, OBS crashed. That's weird. I wonder... I don't think I'm like... wouldn't have run out of hard disk space. Surely not. Nope. Anyway, yeah, rotate track is interesting because so the JavaScript version has rotate track, which I will demonstrate to you thusly. Rotate, and it just cycles through everything, and it's kind of, I find it annoying. So I don't know about that, but a smart rotate I could see. So like in this position here, you could rotate between horizontal, vertical, left up, and left down only, because they're the ones that are connected or that make valid connections. So I could sort of have I could see a smart rotate being a thing you might want to do, because if you do, if you draw this, but I wanted this to go down, you've kind of got to go like that, and hope or trust that it won't reorder things. So yeah, rotate maybe, but only if it's smart enough. Definitely cross tracks need to do. I wonder how quickly I can do then. Is it just a matter of saying check for a cross behind me? Smart rotate, yes. IntelliRotate, I think I'll copyright that term. No, I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to do smart tracks today because I just know that I'm going to fail at them and trial and error some more. I'm going to call that a fantastic result. Except for that is hideously ugly and definitely... Wait, is there a refactoring for this? Convert to struct. Oh, hello, whoa. Updating usages in containing member. Updating usages in containing type. Project. Dependent projects. Wow. You just search the whole internet for 4 tracks. You're placing it in palette colors from a color class and paths. So it's the same position. Can be constructed once and reused. Oh, paths constructed once. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. I could do that. As I said, not a big problem because speed is not an issue, but let's convert that to a struct called neighbor info. Track neighbors. Track neighbors. You just need to redraw them. Yes, I do, but presumably constructing a path is not a big deal either. Let's move that to a new type. Oh, look at this refactoring. This is great. I seriously didn't even know that you could do this. Implement IAquotable. Am I overriding? Oh god, did it generate me a track? Oh wow. Minus 2 and no, I think 3 would be better there. I'm not smart enough to do that. I don't know what that. What is that broken? Right. Oh, is it just called deconstruct? Is that how it's? Has it not? Where's my track? Oh yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I don't actually think I am deconstructing it anywhere, so I probably can just remove that. And then, yeah, this stuff can be moved onto the track neighbors. Inconsistent accessibility. You know what? Let's just clean up because I don't need this. Thank you, Visual Studio, for generating for me. You are delightful, but I'm good. And I encapsulate the use property. Oh, I just want to make a property. Cool. Count. That's not what I wanted to do. Count is this. And this. This is still an abomination, but now at least it's hiding. No, we don't need that anymore. Which is lovely. That, oh, okay. That was, oh, was it doing a implicit operator? Very naughty with those spammy links. Oh, hello. Is that my messages? I'm gonna try and look at this link now. I really should just turn off Nightbot. I don't know. I put it on because it's like, you know, what if things that are bad happen? Yeah, that's, I mean, that's presumably what the framework is doing, the same as what Roslyn generated, but I've seen that trick, and that's a really cool trick. The other thing you can also do now is there is just a system.hashcode. I think you can just use it somehow. Yeah, hashcode.combine. And so, yeah, they just put it in the framework, which is good, is what they should do. So this is neighbors.count. No, no, it's not. Oh, and that these are all possibly nullable, which makes sense. All right, let's run our test once more for good measure, and then I'm going to call it a day. This isn't a standard 2.0, but it should actually be 2.1. There's no reason for it not to be, because this is .NET Core 3. So, I mean, it could also be .NET Core 3. But yeah, it's 2.1. I don't suppose 2.1 is a problem for examining. Let's do this. What did we do here? We did an eraser. Did we do anything else? I kind of forgot. I think I mentioned this last stream, but I'm terrible at remembering to commit often. No, I think this is all just eraser. Cool. Array structs. 15.5 preview 1. I'm going to do something that I probably shouldn't do, but I found a bug in Visual Studio today. Yep, it's there. And I'm just curious if it was new. So I just did a find and replace on 2.0 to change to 2.1, and it didn't work. And oh, it's 3.1. You know what? 3.1's out actually, isn't it? Did that come out today, or is it in preview? Yeah, let's use 3.1. Why not? Bleeding Edge. Run faster. Okay, cool. Alright, that's it. I'm calling it a night. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to clone this repo and draw wonderful tracks if you have a Windows machine, because it's in WinForms. But that does look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I will be spending tomorrow drawing train tracks if anyone needs me. And I want right click to be raise. Just decided. Cool. Thanks everyone. Catch you next. Oh no, I won't catch you next week. I am unable to stream next Wednesday. I might pick another night. Depends. It's a busy week, so I might not. Have a good something, everybody, and I will see you whenever next time is.